Okay, let's talk about lesson 6-3, which is using elimination with addition and subtraction. So we've learned a method for solving system of equations using graphing. We've learned a method using substitution. Now this next method we're going to learn is called elimination. And in this case, we're going to use addition and subtraction to eliminate parts of the equation to solve it. Okay, so elimination is your term, and the definition for that term is a method. Oh, let me just read it to you right out of the book, shall I? I can find it here. It is a method It's the use of addition or subtraction to eliminate one variable and solve an equation. So it is using plus or minus addition or subtraction to eliminate, better spelling than that, Mrs. Blackie. Eliminate one variable and solve a system of equations. Okay, so that's your term, elimination. Okay, so this real-world example is in Chicago. Look familiar, guys? There are 2 more months when when the mean temperature, high temperature is below 70, and then there are 2 months B when it is above 70. And if you set those up as 2 equations with addition, A plus B equals 12 and A minus B equals 2, that represents a situation where we could use elimination to solve it. Yeah, so using addition or subtraction to solve a system of equations is called elimination. There's our definition again. When we solve by elimination, we write the terms we write the like terms with the same or opposite coefficients aligned. So if we had one equation that was this, and we had another equation that was negative 2y plus 7x equals 4. So those were our 2 equations, right? We'd write them so we could line up, let's say that's 2y. Okay, so we could line up equations so they'll just cancel each other out, basically. So I'd move the 7x to here, so my coefficients, so my variables are lined up. And this one would be 7x minus 2y equals 4. And then you can see I can cancel those out. So your first step is to try and line your terms up so you can cancel something out. Your second step is you add or subtract the equation and eliminate the one variable. So then we would actually add this together and we get 2x plus 7x is 9x equals, those 2 cancel out, 14. Therefore x is 14 over 9. And that would make you find out what x is. And then your third step is you'd substitute this value into one of the equations and solve for the other variable, just like we did in substitution. The third steps are pretty much the same in these 2. Okay, let's look at a problem. I have to go back and find that problem. I think it's at the bottom of my slide here. Bear with me just a second, guys. I'm going to slide this one all the way up here, right here, so we can look at it. Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's the slide I wanted next. Okay, so here we have elimination using addition. For our first example, we have 4x plus 6y equals 32, and we have 3x minus 6y equals 3. So step one would be, to line up the variables and the coefficients with an opposite that are opposite. And in this case, that's already done for us. 4x plus 6y equals 32, and 3x minus 6y equals 3. So they're already lined up, so those guys will cancel out, and then we just add everything else. 7x equals 35. Divide by 7, and we find out x equals 5. All right, so now we know x is 5, and we're going to substitute 5 for x in either equation. You can pick either one of these two, it doesn't matter. So let's stick with our 4x plus 6y equals 32, and we substitute in 5 for the x. So 4 times 5 plus 6y equals 32. 20 plus 6y equals 32. Minus 20 on both sides. And we get 6y equals 12. Or y equals, divide both sides by 6, and we found out y equals 2. So now we know that y equals 2. So our solution is for x and y is 5, 2. And there's our answer. Okay? And you could check that by graphing it if you'd like. Here are 2 practice problems. Why don't you try those and see how you do, and graph them to see if your answer looks right. We can use elimination to find 2 specific numbers that are described as being related to each other. And here's our example for that. We have -3, the problem, -3 times x times one number plus 5 times another number is 11. So basically, we have to write that as a mathematical equation. So -3 times a number x plus 5 times another number is -11. So there's our first equation, okay? And then our second sentence says also that 3 times the first number, 3x, plus 7 times the other number, y, is -1. So that is that one, and that is that one, okay? Now we have to find the numbers that work for that. So we're going to write them vertically, and then we're going to add. So they're already, the coefficients that are opposite are on top of each other, right? So we have -3x plus 5y equals -11, and right underneath we have 3x plus 7y equals -1. So those two will cancel out, and we have 12y equals -12. Divide both sides by divide both sides by 12, and we get y equals -1. So now we're going to substitute -1 in for y in one of the equations. It doesn't matter which one, but here we'll just take the first one. 5 times -1 equals -11. So 3x minus 5 equals -11, plus 5, plus 5. 3x equals -6. So x equals -2. All right, and then, so now we know x is -2. And we know y is -1. And there's our answer. Okay. Here's one of those kind of problems for you guys to try. Good luck with that. There's the Navy Pier. You can think back to your fun 8th grade class trip. All right, elimination using subtraction. Sometimes we eliminate a variable by subtracting instead of adding, okay? So here we have the system of equations. 2t plus 5r equals 6, and 9r plus 2t equals 22. Well, if I subtract these two, I can eliminate a couple of variables, that variable and its coefficients. Let's see how that works. I'm going to change the t's to x if you guys don't mind, because you know I don't like t's very much because they look like pluses. So 2x plus 5r equals 6, and 2x plus 9r equals 6. So you notice I rotated these guys and put the 2x first. And now I'm going to subtract this entire equation. So to subtract the entire equation means I'm going to subtract this guy, I'm going to subtract the 9r, and I'm going to subtract the 6. Okay? So all of the signs change in front of each term. Now these guys cancel out, and 5 minus 9r is negative 4r equals, I'm sorry, that's a positive 6. I beg your pardon. Right? Excuse me, it's 22. It's not even 6. Is 22. So that's a negative 22. That'll be a negative 16. So r equals 4. And then I'll take 4 and I'll substitute it for r. So 2x minus 5, or excuse me, plus 5r equals 6. I'll put the 4 in for the r, so it'll be 2x plus 5 times 4 equals 6, so that'll be 20. So 2x plus 20 equals 6, minus 20 on both sides. 2x equals 14, negative 14, so x equals negative 7. So our answer is negative 7, 4. Alright, here are your guided practice problems. And not only that, besides seeing the Chicago bean, it is also your last page for this video. So good luck with that. And we'll talk about it tomorrow in class. And make sure if you have any questions, you have them ready, so as a class we can discuss them.